The planet was quiet, too quiet. Ethan walked slowly across the rocky ground, his boots making soft sounds in the cold dust. The sky above him was dark purple, filled with stars that did not belong to Earth. He was alone on this world, sent only to scan minerals and return home. That was the plan. But something felt wrong tonight. The wind suddenly stopped. The air became heavy. Ethan paused and looked around. His hand moved closer to the small weapon on his belt, not because he wanted to fight. Not clear. Slowly and listened again. There it was, coming from behind a group of shattered crystal rocks. Ivan hesitated. Were dangerous, some hunted by sound. Some attacked when injured. He took a slow step forward. The sound became clearer. Pain. Someone or something was hurting. Ethan carefully moved around the rocks, his heart beating faster. One of its legs was badly injured, dragging its injured body, making a soft crying sound. Ethan raised both hands slowly. "It's okay," he said quietly. His voice was calm. It stopped moving, watching him closely, ready to run if it could. Ethan slowly knelt down. Close he could see more details. The creature's breathing was fast and shallow. Its body shook with pain. But this was different. This creature was not attacking. It was not threatening. It was just hurt. Ethan opened his medical kit. The sound of the kit made the creature flinch. Ethan stopped and waited. Though its eyes never left him. Ethan worked carefully. He cleaned the wound. The creature cried softly, but did not try to bite or escape. Ethan used a basic healing spray meant for humans. He did not know if it would work, but it was all he had. To his surprise, the bleeding slowed. The creature's breathing became steadier. Ethan let out a slow breath. He did not realize he was holding. "There you go," he whispered. As he finished, the creature made a low sound. It was not pain this time. It sounded almost like relief. Ethan sat back. He smiled slightly. Then the ground shook. Very gently. Ethan felt it through his boots. He stood up quickly and looked at the sky. Far above the planet, tiny lights appeared among the stars. At first, he thought they were meteors. Then they changed direction. Ethan's heart sank. Those were ships. Alien ships, dozens of them. All moving toward the planet, toward his location. Ethan looked back at the creature. It had noticed the lights too. Its body stiffened. Fear returned to its eyes, stronger than before. Ethan felt a strange feeling in his chest. "Are they looking for you?" he asked quietly. The creature did not answer, but it slowly moved closer to him, staying near his leg as if hiding. Ethan frowned. That was not normal behavior. Most alien creatures avoided humans. This one trusted him. The sky grew brighter as the ships came closer. Ethan knew one thing for sure. Whatever this creature was, it was important, and somewhere in the darkness of space, someone powerful had realized something terrible. The injured creature was alive, and a human was standing beside it, far away from the quiet planet. Deep in space, a massive alien ship drifted through the stars. Inside the ship, alarms suddenly came alive. Soft blue lights turned red. Alien officers stopped what they were doing. Something had gone wrong. In the center of the ship, Princess Lyra stood up from her seat. Her calm face changed in seconds. She felt a sharp pain in her chest, like something pulling at her life. She gasped. Her hand moved to her heart. "No," she whispered. She knew this feeling. It only happened when one thing was in danger. Bonded creature, her royal companion, her pet. But it was not just a pet. The creature was linked to her by ancient alien science. Its life force was connected to hers. If it died, she would grow weak. If it suffered, she felt pain. An alien commander rushed toward her. "My princess," he said, bowing quickly. "The life signal of your bonded creature dropped suddenly. It is injured." The room went silent. Princess Lyra's eyes widened. "Injured?" she asked sharply. "How is that possible?" It escaped during the storm on the surface planet, the commander replied. We lost track of it for several hours. Lyra clenched her fists. That planet was dangerous, untamed, unclaimed, and now humans were known to explore nearby systems. Her thoughts turned dark. Send search ships, she ordered. Now. Yes, Princess. The ship shook slightly as engines powered up. Dozens of smaller ships launched into space, spreading out like hunters. Lyra closed her eyes. She felt something else now. Not just pain. Confusion. Fear. Mixed with calm. Her creature was hurt, but it was not alone. That made no sense. Back on the planet, Ethan watched the sky grow brighter. The alien ships were closer now. Their shapes were clear, smooth, sharp, powerful. This was not a random patrol. This was a search. Ethan's shelter scanner started beeping. Unknown signals. High energy. Military level. Ethan cursed under his breath. I knew this was too quiet, he said. The injured creature stayed close to him. It leaned slightly against his leg, trembling. Ethan looked down at it. You belong to them, don't you? He asked. The creature made a soft sound. Not fear, not pain. Something else. Trust. Ethan felt a strange weight in his chest. If the aliens wanted the creature, they would take it. But what if they blamed him? Humans were not welcome everywhere. Ethan grabbed his pack and activated his shelter shield. It was weak, old, but better than nothing. The ship stopped above the area. Bright beams of light scanned the ground. Ethan raised his hand slowly. I'm not hiding, he said, even though no one could hear him yet. Inside the lead alien ship, Princess Lyra watched the scan results, her breath caught. There, she said softly. A life signal. Her creature. Alive. Very close to a human. The commander looked confused. A human, as she said softly. A life signal. Her creature. Alive. Very close to a human. The commander looked confused. A human as well. He asked, Princess, humans are unpredictable. They may have captured it. Lyra shook her head. No, she said slowly. I would feel fear if that were true. She felt something else instead. Warmth. The commander hesitated. My princess. Shall we eliminate the human? The word echoed in the room. Eliminate. Lyra's single quotes. Eyes hardened. Not yet, she said. On the ground, Ethan felt the air change. The beam stopped. Shadow passed over him. Something large descended from the sky. The creature beside him pressed closer. Ethan stood still. His heart pounded. A landing ship touched the ground silently. Just meters away. The door opened. Blue light spilled out. Ethan took a slow breath. Whatever happened next would change everything. He had helped a stranger without knowing its value. And now, the galaxy was about to respond. The alien ship rested on the ground like a silent giant. Its surface reflected the stars, smooth and cold. Ethan stood still, his hands raised, his breath slow but heavy. He knew one wrong move could end his life. Humans had weak weapons compared to alien power. The injured creature stayed close to him. Very close. Its small body pressed against his leg as if it believed Ethan could protect it. That thought scared him more than the ship. The door of the alien craft opened wider. Tall figures stepped out. They were much taller than Ethan, their bodies covered in armored suits that glowed faintly blue. Their eyes were hidden behind dark visors. Long weapons rested in their hands, pointed toward the ground, but ready. Hunters. Ethan could feel it. One of them raised a device and aimed it at the creature. The device hummed softly. The creature reacted instantly. It cried out. The sound was sharp and full of fear. Ethan moved without thinking. He stepped in front of the creature. The hunters stopped. Their weapons lifted slightly. Don't, Ethan said firmly. His voice shook, but his body did not move. It's injured. The aliens did not answer. They scanned him instead. His body, his weapons, his heart rate, inside the main ship. Princess Lyra watched everything through the Kega hunter's eyes. She saw the human step forward. She saw him block the scan. Her breath slowed. That was not expected. He is shielding it. The commander said in disbelief. Princess Lyra narrowed her eyes. Humans do not protect what they do not own, she said quietly. Something about this human felt wrong. In a good way. On the ground, one hunter spoke. Its voice was deep and mechanical. Human, it said. Step aside. Ethan swallowed. No, he replied. The word surprised even him. The hunter tilted its head. Your species has no claim over this life form. Ethan shook his head. It was dying, he said. I helped it. That's all. The hunters exchanged silent signals. Their weapons lifted higher. The creature behind Ethan trembled. Ethan clenched his fists. If they attacked, he would not win. But he would not move. Inside the ship, Princess Lyra stood up. Enough, she said. The commander turned to her. My princess, the human is interfering. Lyra stepped forward. Lower the weapons, she ordered. The commander hesitated. Then nodded. On the ground, the hunters obeyed. Their weapons lowered slowly. Ethan exhaled. The door of the ship opened again. This time, a different figure appeared, smaller than the hunters. More elegant, surrounded by soft light. The creature behind Ethan made a sudden sound. Not fear. Joy. Pushed past Ethan and ran toward the figure. Ethan turned sharply. Wait. Ugh. The figure knelt down. The creature jumped into her arms. Princess Lyra held it gently. Her eyes closed for a moment. The pain in her chest faded. She was whole again. Ethan stared. Princess. His mind raced. He had not saved a wild animal. He had saved something royal. Important. Powerful. Princess Lyra stood and looked at him. Their eyes met. For a long moment, no one spoke. You helped it, she said. Her voice was calm, but strong. Ethan nodded slowly. It was hurt. You did not know what it was, she continued. No, Ethan said honestly. A strange silence followed. The hunters waited. The commander watched closely. This moment mattered. Princess Lyra raised her hand. All eyes turned to her. Human, she said. Do you know what you have done? Ethan swallowed. I saved a life, he replied. The princess studied him. Then for the first time, something unexpected happened. She smiled. The silence felt heavy. Ethan stood still, unsure if he should speak or remain quiet. The alien hunters did not move. Their weapons stayed lowered, but their fingers were still close to the triggers. Princess Lyra looked at Ethan. Carefully, not like an enemy, not like prey, but like a puzzle. You helped my bonded creature, she said slowly. You treated it when it was close to death. Ethan nodded once. It was suffering, he replied. I couldn't leave it like that. The princess turned her eyes toward the creature in her arms. It was calm now, resting against her chest. Its wound had already started to heal. She touched the treated area gently. This healing method, she said, is not alien. Ethan hesitated. It's human, he answered. Very basic. A quiet wave of surprise moved through the alien ranks. Basic human medicine had worked on a royal alien life form. That alone was shocking. Inside the command channel, alien officers began to whisper. Data screens lit up. The creature's life readings were stable. Stronger than before. The commander stepped forward. My princess, he said carefully. This human interfered with royal property. By law. Princess Lyra raised her hand. The commander stopped instantly. By law, she said calmly. Any being who saves a bonded life saves the royal line itself. The words echoed. The hunters stiffened. Ethan's eyes widened slightly. Royal line? He felt his stomach drop. Princess Lyra turned back to Ethan. Do you understand what you protected? She asked. Ethan shook his head. No, he said honestly. I just saw someone hurt. That answer caused another pause. Aliens were not used to that. Logic. The princess studied him again. You had no promise of reward, she said. No fear of punishment, she continued. And no knowledge of its value. Ethan said nothing, because it was true. The commander leaned closer to the princess. My princess, he whispered. Humans are known for deception. This may be an act. Princess Lyra's eyes hardened. Then explain this, she replied. She activated a hologram. It showed Ethan's actions. Every step. Him kneeling. Him stopping when the creature flinched. Him shielding it with his body when the hunters arrived. The hologram ended. Silence returned. No deception. Only instinct. Only choice. The princess looked at Ethan again. You stood between armed hunters and a creature you barely knew, she said. Ethan swallowed. I didn't think. He replied. I just acted. That was the moment something changed. Princess Lyra turned to her council. Humans are called weak, she said. Fragile, she continued. Emotional. Her voice grew stronger. But this one chose pain over safety. The council exchanged uneasy looks. That was not weakness. That was something else. The commander spoke again, his voice less certain now. What are your orders, my princess? Princess Lyra looked at Ethan one last time. Then she made a decision. Take the creature back to the ship, she said softly. It needs rest. The creature made a small sound and looked at Ethan. It did not want to leave. Ethan felt a strange pull in his chest. It's okay, he said quietly. You're safe now. The creature slowly let go. Princess Lyra turned as if to leave. Then she stopped. She looked back at Ethan. You will come with us, she said. Ethan's heart skipped. Did not resist. Not as a prisoner, she added, but as a guest. The hunters looked shocked that no human had ever been invited like this. Ethan nodded slowly. All right, he said. As the alien ship doors closed behind them, the stars above seemed to shift. A simple human act had crossed a line no one expected, and somewhere deep in alien space, old beliefs about humanity were beginning to break. The alien ship moved silently through space. Ethan stood near a wide window, watching the stars pass by. His hands were free, but he knew this was not freedom. Every step he took was watched. Every breath was measured. He was a guest, but guests could still be judged. Inside the ship, the bonded creature rested in a soft energy chamber. Its life signs were strong now, stable, safe. Princess Lyra stood nearby. She felt calm again, but her mind was not at rest. A human had saved her life without knowing it. That fact disturbed the council more than danger ever could. The High Council chamber was vast. Tall pillars of light rose from the floor to the ceiling. Alien leaders from many systems appeared as glowing forms, watching from their platforms. Ethan stood alone at the center. Very small, very human. Princess Lyra took her place above. The council is now in session, a deep voice announced. Human. Ethan of Earth, it continued. You interfered with a bonded royal life form. Explain your actions. All eyes turned to him. Ethan cleared his throat. It was injured, he said. I had tools. I helped. A low murmur spread across the chamber. That is not an explanation, one council member said. That is instinct. Yes, Ethan replied. It is. The council did not like simple answers. One figure leaned forward. Humans are known to act for reward, it said. Power, favor. Ethan shook his head. I didn't know what it was, he said. I didn't know who it belonged to. Princess Lyra watched closely. This was the moment. The council activated another hologram. It showed alternate outcomes. In everyone, the creature died. Princess Lyra grew weak. Chaos followed. War probabilities spiked. The room went quiet. One council member spoke slowly. If the creature had died, it said, the princess would have fallen. Another added, and this human prevented that. The commander stepped forward. My princess, he said, tradition demands testing. If humans are to be trusted, they must prove intent. Ethan felt his chest tighten. Testing? He asked. Princess Lyra met his eyes. Yes, she said. A test of humanity. The test was simple. Too simple. Ethan was shown a chamber. Inside were 3 paths. One led to safety. One led to pain. One led to death. The creature will be moved, the council announced. You may only save it by choosing correctly. Ethan frowned. What if I choose wrong? Then it suffers. The voice replied. Ethan did not hesitate. He stepped toward the dangerous path. Princess Lyra stood up. Stop, she said sharply, but the council allowed it. Ethan entered the path. The chamber shook. Heat burned his skin. Energy cut into his arms, but he kept moving. He reached the end. The creature was there. Alive. Waiting. Ethan collapsed. The test ended. Silence filled the council hall. No strategy. No calculation. Only choice. Princess Lyra's voice broke the silence. He chose pain again, she said. Just like before. The council could no longer deny it. Humans were not harmless. They were dangerous in a different way. Ethan woke later in a healing room. Princess Lyra stood beside him. You passed, she said softly. Ethan smiled weakly. Good, he replied. The chamber, the galaxy was listening, and for the first time, humanity was no longer ignored. News travels fast in space. Faster than ships. Faster than weapons. The story of the human spread across star systems in silent data waves. A human who chose pain without reward. A human who protected life without command. Many did not believe it, until the evidence arrived. In the High Council chamber, Princess Lyra stood before leaders from dozens of worlds. Her bonded creature rested beside her, calm and strong. This human, she said, pointing to Ethan, acted without knowing my name, my rank, or my power. Ethan stood quietly behind her. He did not feel like a hero. He felt tired. Council elders spoke. Intent is meaningless without result. Princess Lyra nodded. Then look at the result, she replied. A hologram filled the chamber. It showed human history. Rescue missions, medics in war zones, humans carrying strangers from fire and ruins. Not orders. Choices. The room grew silent. One by one, alien leaders began to understand. A military lord stood. If humans are like this, it said, they are unpredictable. Yes, Princess Lyra answered, and that is why they matter. She turned toward Ethan. Human Ethan, she said, you have changed how we see your species. Ethan swallowed. I didn't mean to, he replied. That answer shocked them again. Outside the council, reactions spread. Some worlds demanded alliances, others demanded distance. A few demanded protection. For the first time, humans were not ignored. They were watched. Closely. The commander approached Princess Lyra. My princess, he said. What are your orders? She looked at Ethan. Then at the stars. Send word to Earth, she said. Tell them what their people are. The commander hesitated. Peaceful? He asked. Princess Lyra shook her head. Capable, she replied. Ethan was escorted to a viewing deck. Below him, massive fleets moved into new formations. Not attacking, not retreating. Waiting. Princess Lyra joined him. The galaxy respects strength, she said, but it fears purpose. Ethan looked at the stars. I just helped, he said. She nodded. And that is why this changes everything. Back on Earth, signals arrived. Alien messages. Not threats. Questions. Offers. Warnings. Human. Leaders were stunned that the galaxy had noticed humanity. Not for war, but for choice. Princess Lyra turned to Ethan one last time. You may return home, she said. Ethan looked surprised. That's it? She smiled. For now, she replied. But remember this, she placed a hand over her heart. When the galaxy is in danger, it will look for humans. As Ethan's ship prepared to depart, the bonded creature approached him. It touched His hand gently, a quiet goodbye. Ethan smiled. "Take care," he said. The stars shifted as his ship jumped to light speed. Behind him, alien space felt different, because now the galaxy knew what humans really were. Ethan's ship moved quietly through space. Earth was still far away, but something inside him had already changed. He was not a soldier. He was not a leader. He was not a hero. He was just a human who made a choice. On the alien flagship, Princess Lyra stood alone at the viewing window. The stars reflected in her eyes. Her bonded creature rested beside her, healthy and calm. It was alive because of a human, because of kindness. The council gathered one last time. "The human has departed," an officer reported. Princess Lyra nodded. "Then record this moment," she said. The council activated the Galactic Archive, living history that remembered only events that changed the fate of many worlds. "This entry," she continued, "is not about war, not about power, not about conquest." She paused. "It is about a human who chose to help." The archive accepted the record. That alone was rare. Across the galaxy, worlds reacted. Some removed humans from threat lists. Some added them to alliance talks. Others marked them as unpredictable variables. Not weak, not harmless, but dangerous in a way no weapon could measure. Ethan returned to Earth quietly. No parade. No medals. He reported his mission. Most did not believe him. Until alien signals arrived. Friendly. Curious. Respectful. Human. Leaders finally understood. Humanity had been seen. Weeks later, Ethan stood on a hill under Earth's night sky. He looked up at the stars, the same stars, different meaning now. A soft light appeared in the sky, not a threat. A visitor. Princess Lyra's ship hovered high above, unseen by most. A private signal reached Ethan. "The galaxy remembers you." Ethan smiled slightly. "I didn't ask it to," he replied. Far beyond Earth, the bonded creature looked toward the planet. It made a soft sound. Princess Lyra placed a gentle hand on its head. "Yes," she said quietly. "That world is different." She turned to her commanders. "When danger comes," she said. "When darkness rises," she continued, "we will not stand alone." The commanders bowed. "Humans will answer," one said. Princess Lyra nodded. "They always do." The stars continued to burn. Silent. Watching. Remembering. Not the power of weapons, not the size of fleets, but the moment a human knelt beside a wounded creature and chose mercy.